Uh, this is for Jesus Warriors Club once more, and today I'm going to talk about a king from the Nordic lands, where the Norsemen come from. The title of today's talk is This was Magnus. This was Magnus. Let us get the madness. Why am I talking about this? Remember I told you that we share many things with the Norse religion, for those who are in Christianity. It is the presence of the Norsemen when they came during the Crusades that we ended up having the images of Jesus being that of a Norseman. Some people have always wondered, people from Israel are a bit Turkish in their origin and all these other things. But then the pictures that we've been having of Jesus have been of Nordic origin. I'm talking about these fierce people who would wage war and would die gladly in war. In fact, if a man was sick, or if a man felt life was treating him unfairly, and others just for the sake of it, they would go to warfare. And it was a honor to die fighting war, because you would go to heaven to join Thor's army. Thor is the god of lightning, the god of thunder, the hammer. Yes, you would join the forces of the hammer. And they also fought in the name of the god of knowledge. Eat the fruit, eat the fruit, eat the fruit. They fought in the name of the god of knowledge, Odin. Remember, I told you of the days of the week belonging to Nordic gods. This was a time when now Christianity had entered into the Norseman's system, and the Norseman who had received Christianity was going to exact the Norse traditions, the Norse fury in liberating the place where the Bible was always talking of, the Holy Land, Jerusalem. That is the city we call Jerusalem. To them, it was liberation of Jerusalem. That is what Jerusalem is to them, the name. And a king called Sigurd Magnus wanted to liberate Jerusalem from the rule of the Muslims. He took Nordic warriors, the land of the Norseman, Nordic warriors, schooled them in the art of Nordic war, and from there he incorporated Roman war skills. Yes, He incorporated the styles, testudo, in the war maneuvers. And he took 60 ships from Norway. They went and wintered in England, which had a king of their origin. Was it William the Conqueror? Something like that. Who was now king of England. So they took time there. Then they came to Iberia, where Muslims were. Iberia is the present Spain. And they were able to winter at Santiago, and then came waging wars all the way. They fought with the Viking madness. The way they fought for Odin. Yes, the same way they fought for Yahweh and for Jesus. And when they reached Jerusalem, they were incensed. How can Muslims be in charge of Jerusalem? But the Muslims had a strong army. Bigger forces. They were a fraction in number of the Muslim forces. But their focus was to liberate Jerusalem. Give Jerusalem freedom. And the Vikings descended on the Muslim army. And the proper Muslim army, because you remember Iberia coming downwards, North Africa, all that was now Muslim land. Spain under the Muslims, somewhere, yes. And they waged a war. But the Muslims had the advantage of numbers and the knowledge of the landscape. And they thought this was going to be a walkover like before. They underestimated. Yes, they underrated the Norwegian fierceness. The Norwegian, the Viking war madness. And the Vikings came, fewer in number. The Muslims charged, large in numbers. And those small forces had a strange battle array. Instead of spreading out, they broke into circular positioning. Circular testudo formation. The Muslims had never seen something like that. And they fought with the fury of the Nordic Vikings. They had gotten a weapon also from the Greeks. The Greek fire. The Greek fire was a kind of fire that was ignited by a certain kind of fuel that would burn in water. It was difficult to put off. It was like the present napalm bomb, because the napalm bomb, when it explodes and the substances get over you, it's like you are wearing a coat of fire and it's very difficult to remove. You burn alive. So they had the Greek fire. They would make formation, light a fire, and some of them would even burn in the fire, but burn fighting. They went down fighting. They had fierceness that the Muslim in that area had never seen. They brought the Nordic, yes, the Viking madness. And before people could realize, they had liberated Jerusalem. That kind of fierceness. A fierceness they had for Thor, the god who strikes with the hammer called lightning. They were able to throw a spanner into the works of the Muslims and reestablished a Jerusalem under the Crusaders. That is how crusades were fought, my friends. Those who did not know that crusades were real wars, they were real wars, fierce wars. And Magnus showed his spiritual madness in the war. I'm using this because the world situation, the systems that are ruling the world, need us to approach them with a ferocity, with the madness of Magnus. We have to be organized. We have to form proper battle arrays so that we tackle problems with occultism, with economic sabotages, with theft of public funds, public facilities, to instill hope around the world. There are countries that call themselves democracies, but the story of democracy is assured to the outside countries because the people within are left wondering. It's just like the former Roman Empire. There was a time I was looking into the situation in Rome, and there were the palaces, yes. There was the big potters, but there was a lot of poverty within the very, very same city. By then it was the largest city to have a population of 1 million. 1 million was so much for a city that time. But there was a lot of poverty. Worldwide, we've had shining examples. We've had big countries. They talk of high standards of living, but there are very few countries that can show equity in the distribution of that comfort life. Most of them end up having a smaller number. They have cartels. We used to talk of Italian mafia. Ever heard of Russian mafia? Ever heard of mafia infiltrating Britain? American mafia. Ever heard of Yakuza? Japan? And many other groups. This is the reality in the world. Big names. Big show. A lot of cover up for what is happening within. We don't want people to see it because it will not reflect our true identity. This is a call to the people all over. This is a call to the people of the world. Approach those systems with the fierceness of Magnus, Sigurd Magnus. Yes. Make circular battle arrays. Ignite the Greek fire in your hearts to enact changes within the world system. Let's not live a lie. Let's not live with bigness. Let's not live with a lot of pride, whereas there are so many things that don't add up. They don't add up to what we are showing to the world. This is a worldwide problem. Yes. This is a class problem. This is a caste problem. And it's only with such an approach of madness in the truth, fierceness in the truth, just like Magnus, Sigurd Magnus went to Jerusalem and fought a fierce war in Jerusalem to liberate Jerusalem. Let us liberate our unadvantaged population in the societies from those chains that were the chains of Jerusalem. Yes, let's have an equal Jerusalem for all of us. The battle for Jerusalem goes on. It is an economic battle. Yes. It is a constitutional battle. It is a rights battle. This is a call for us to be mad like Magnus. Fight with the ferocity of Magnus and ensure that the Jerusalem that is equity is achieved throughout the world. It is your duty in your country. Nobody will do it for you. Find where the shoe pinches. Make it fit for you so that it does not pinch you. It is you and your systems. Yes. Change the system. Like Magnus with his ferocity changed Jerusalem. That is my talk for now.